Hello and welcome back to a new writing lesson. Before we get started with report writing, I'd first like to draw your attention to the difference between a report and an essay. While an essay presents arguments and reasoning, a report concentrates on facts. Reports are more likely to be needed for business, scientific and technical subjects, and in the workplace, so they need to be written in a formal language and it should be impersonal in style. Let's take a look at the layout using a model report from edunet.bh. This report was requested by my class teacher. It investigates the effectiveness of online learning in educating students compared to traditional face-to-face learning. This report was to be submitted by the end of the first semester.
In your introduction, include answers to these questions. Who was it requested by? What is the aim of this report? How was the information obtained? When is it to be submitted?
The COVID-19 has resulted in closing schools all across the world. Globally, over 1.2 billion children are out of the classroom. Online learning has proved to have positive effects for student learning outcomes, but there are some safety concerns and some negative health impacts on the kids with long hours spent in front of the computer screens. Some teachers and students consider face-to-face learning more effective, as it provides better interaction between the teacher and the student, and this is mainly needed for young learners. Online learning requires a greater amount of reading and assignments than traditional classes.
In the second paragraph, write 3 or 4 points about the background or history of the topic, what you discovered in the investigation, include some advantages or benefits and disadvantages or drawbacks.
Educationalists and students are divided about the effectiveness of online learning when compared to traditional face-to-face learning.
In the third paragraph, sum up what you have concluded from the information.
It is recommended that parents check on their children's use of technology regularly. Feedback and support for students should be individualized for online learning, rather than given to the entire group. While students work through the online course material, parents should be there to support, encourage, and nurture their kids' development as learners. But they should not do the work for their children. Blended learning should be empowered.
In the last paragraph, which is the recommendations section, write 3 or 4 points suggesting actions to be taken and future development. Then sign with your first and last name and position in the organization.
You can use some of these useful phrases and examples. In the following pages, we'll look at some questions and model answers.
National examinations are effective. Write a report to your school magazine about this topic, highlighting its effect and recommending solutions. You have done a research about some remedies. Write a report, from 200 to 250 words, to the Science magazine at your school on homeopathy, highlighting its effects and recommending solutions. You have done a research about some remedies. Write a report, from 200 to 250 words, to the Science magazine at your school on home remedies, using the notes given below.